The following program is brought to you by Caltech.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Anneila Sargent. As you all probably know, I'm Vice President for Student Affairs at Caltech, and I'm really delighted to welcome all of you to the Hameetman Center Renovation Kickoff. That was difficult to get all into them. First and foremost, I'd like to say thank you to Fred and Joyce Hameetman, who are sitting in the front row. For their tremendous support and this particular gift to Caltech. Without their generosity, their enthusiasm, and their vision, we would not be here today for this celebration. Now, when complete, the Hameetman Center will create a shared gathering space where students, and actually all members of the Caltech JPL community, can interact across residential and academic boundaries to build lasting friendships and collaborations that enhance the Caltech experience and actually are an integral part of the Caltech culture, as I think you all probably know. Among the numerous upgrades under consideration are the creation on the ground floor of an open, versatile lounge and common area just for everyone to get together, to hang out, to talk in groups, to one another, to sit with your laptops. And upstairs, a new music rehearsal room. Thanks, actually, in addition to Steve and Mia Frautschi. Steve Frautschi is here, and please wave to everyone, Steve. So we're very grateful we've been needing a music rehearsal room for a long time. As well as we'll have a dance studio up there too. But in addition, we'll have an enlarged outdoor patio around the whole center, additional space for people to interact during the day and in the evenings in our absolutely glorious California weather. It's the right place to do this, just fabulous. So these are exciting times at Caltech. Not only do we have the renovation of the Hameetman Center to celebrate, we'll soon break ground on the Bechtel residence, which will create a new and modern on-campus residence for undergraduate students. And that groundbreaking will actually be preceded by the move and the building of a new childcare center that will actually better meet the needs of our Caltech family. Every one of these projects actually will contribute to a common enhancing vision for this very sustaining and special and stimulating culture that we have at Caltech, a place that we hope everyone can, in different ways, call home. And having said all these things, now I'd like to welcome President Chameau to the podium. President Chameau has played a large role in helping ensure our vision becomes reality. Thank you, Jean-Lou.
Thank you, Anneila. I love Anneila. She came to see me last evening and she said, you know, I'm going to give remarks tomorrow morning tomorrow afternoon at the beginning of the event. And she said, I will only say thank you to Joyce and Fred and welcome you, and then you make remarks. And I just noticed that everything I was supposed to talk about, what the building will be about, she took care of. So I'm going to reverse the role. Thank you, Joyce and Fred. Welcome. Now, welcome to the future Hameetman Center. As Anneila mentioned, when it is completed, it is going to be the gathering place for the Caltech community, which in a location which, although it is not in a center physically of the campus, no, where center is somewhere in that direction, it is clearly the heart of the campus. I think for obvious historical reasons, we are in the historic part of the campus, also for the fact that there are a number of student houses just next to us. And this building was created as the Winnett Student Center in 1961. And we have the Chandler cafeteria, there is the Red Door Cafe, there is the convenience store. When I walked from home to my office in the morning, as early as 7 in the morning, you have people having coffee already outside. You come here from 10 in the morning to 2:30 in the afternoon. It's really the place where people are gathering for lunch, to discuss, have coffee. Our provost, Ed Stolper, has his second office, or this third one, I don't know, outside here at the Red Door Cafe, where he meets almost every day, Ed. I think almost every day he meets with faculty people outside the Red Door Cafe. So with this in mind, for several years now, at least I've been here now for 6 years. The last 3 or 4 years, we have had in mind to really do something more exciting with the current facility. It's a great facility. It has served us very well, but we believe we could do much better. And you have heard of the plans. Okay, the plans will include, obviously, an expanded, what is called now the Red Door Cafe will be dramatically expanded, meeting places for people to have fun, to work, to interact, significant improvement and expansion to the outdoor side. And keep in mind, on the outside of the building, we just completed the Jorgensen Laboratory renovation. We have a beautiful facility there, and we are going to do the landscaping in between that building and this one to really encourage people to be there during the day. There will be expansion in the upfloor, on the upper part here. We are delighted that Dr. Froci and Mia Froci are supporting the creation of a music rehearsal place, where likely there will be a place for I think, dancing, ballet, and all those things. So it is going to become a very exciting place in the coming. The planning is ongoing. We have appointed it is appointed now a committee, and I can announce is Rod Kiewit here, the Dean of Students. Okay, Rod cannot be here this afternoon, but he's going to chair that committee. We discussed it with him, and I think we have a group are going to work very hard to move this ahead. So, what's happening, Anneila? What did I do wrong? So now, I don't need to repeat everything that Anneila said. It's going to be an exciting place. And I can tell you, it has been, and several people who work closely with me, like Ed Stolper, Dean Curry, and Anneila, know it has been a high priority project of mine for the past few years. And I'm excited we're going to bring it to fruition. So, Fred and Joyce, throughout the years, and I've known you for 6 years, but you have been associated with Caltech for many, many more years. You have dedicated your energy and time to Caltech, and we are very grateful for that. You are investing here in a vision, in trying to really dramatically enhance the meeting place here in the center of campus, to make it a place where all members of the community of the campus and JPL will get together and socialize and learn from each other. And I think your generosity is very, very much appreciated. I have to say, it is not the first time that you realize that there is a great opportunity for Caltech. A few years ago, when we were planning and then built the Cahill Center for Astronomy and Astrophysics, Fred and Joyce felt it would be a great place to have a very high quality, first class auditorium. And they provided the funding, that led to the building of that auditorium. Many of you, I believe, have been there. It has become the prime location on campus for lectures. A few days ago or last week, there was a Resnick lecture on the Institute for the Energy Programs, and it took place again in the Hameetman Auditorium, and it's really the prime location now on campus for major lectures. So it is not the first time that you are helping the campus, and I thank you for that. Steve and Mia Froschi, also want to thank you. You have your generous support, and I have to say you were very smart. You made the commitment, but you said the commitment will become real only when you actually are going to renovate this facility and provide much better space for a student for the music rehearsal. Thank you for having done that. It's going to be great for our students, and also thank you for putting the pressure on us to do the right thing. So thanks for all that. Now, I would like now to ask, in a second, Fred and Joyce to join me at the podium here. And I think, in fact, I'm supposed to ask, I'm following my script here. I'm going to ask both of you to come first, okay? So we'll wait a second, but come and join me. And when Fred was a student here a few years ago, he and several of his classmates carved their initials at the time the new bricks of the Winnett Student Center. And if you go in the back here, you will see some of those bricks. And as soon as the building was unveiled, I think it had been a tradition at Caltech for new buildings dating back to the 20s and 30s. So today, I will now ask Fred and Joyce to join me because we would like to present them with several bricks.
Wait, where do I throw it?
No, you don't touch them. I've been told they're still. You should not touch them. Okay, they're very important bricks.
Right.
The first one is really for you, Fred, and we will unveil all three at the same time. The first one is really for you, and it is an exact replica of the brick in which you carve your initials in 1961. In fact, the original is over there, and you have an exact replica, and you will be able to take this one home and find a very appropriate place, I'm sure, for the brick. We are very, when we make presents, we spend money. I can tell you, we do not hesitate. Okay, now that's one brick. Now we're going also to give you two new bricks, but we gave them to you, but you will not be allowed to take them home. They will have to stay here. Okay, so because we are going to present you with two new bricks, one for Fred and one for Joyce, and those are your initials and the year not 1961 but the year 2012 marked on them. And what we are suggesting with those bricks, those two bricks, is that when the building is completed, the renovation is done, they will be displayed prominently inside, likely on the first floor here. So you can take them home if you want, but I think the idea is for them to be in a building for many years to come. So those bricks are to commemorate the joyous event and this occasion and the kickoff of the Hameetman Center renovation. I think I may be... Okay, I was incorrect. Apparently, my notes are saying that not only we have two bricks here, but we will make copies of those two bricks for the center, and you will take those two bricks with you. You're taking 3 bricks home now. Okay, so this is getting better, but better with a second. If I keep looking at my notes carefully, there will be more coming. Okay, let's unveil those.
No one can outdo Caltech.
Oh,
there it is.
Oh, that's fabulous.
There it is.
Oh, that's Fred's original.
They look marvelous.
We should not touch them because
Don't touch them. We are giving these to you, but don't touch them.
So
This is fabulous.
when you have a
That's terrific.
That is terrific. Beautiful.
That is
Thank you.
61.
Fred, you want to say a few words?
I do.
my
Yeah,
notes.
really. Thank you all for being here. What a wonderful afternoon this is, and what a great surprise to have your own brick. I know. I know in basketball when you do a brick, we have 3 bricks. Let me get this. I have to check Jean-Lou's notes to make sure. But in basketball, when you launch a brick, it doesn't do the right thing. But this is definitely the right thing. This location is really historic, not only for Joyce and I, but really for Caltech, because as I understand the history, the original building on this site was called the Old Dorm. The Old Dorm because it started out on Los Robles in Pasadena. I see you shaking your head. And the building, probably a 16-unit apartment house, was sawed in half and transported to this site where it became the Greasy, where you could get your daily supply of bacon fat or whatever you might need. And by the time I got here in 1960, I came over from Occidental College on the 3-2 plan, and I came in 60, and by that time the Greasy was pretty much in disrepair and ready to be torn down. So one of Joyce's first experiences here was we had a Halloween party in the Greasy. And Gary, I think you were at that, correct? And what was your costume? But I remember that at that party that we had a nude-sickle floating in a bowl of geology punch, which was delicious. And one of our sophomores came up the steps to the Greasy in a motorcycle, actually riding a motorcycle through this. And luckily it was due to be torn down very quickly. And by 1961, not only was this building under construction, but also the Space Needle in Seattle and the James Bond series was the very first film was being filmed. So all of these important things were happening. And during construction, as Jean-Lou has indicated, the Page boys, I was in Page House over here. And Gary and Tim Lytle and Art McGar and a lot of the others, Frank Reese, Spike Curtis at the time, came over and saw this tradition that they started in the old Troop Club, which was part of the Greasy. They really did wonderful carvings in the bricks and historical over the years, and we thought we wanted to keep that tradition going, and we did. And you can see from my brick, it is not somehow the quality of the bricks that were done in the 20s, but we also learned that it is very important that Caltech people have a liberal arts component to their education, because one of our friends carved his name, not very well. The quality of the work isn't very good, but he spelled his name Arthur, A-R-T-U-R. So the problem with bricks is that you can't use spell check, and but that was fun, and we went on to. I think we went on to get a very harsh note from the president at that time, as I believe it was Lee DeBridge. Gary, did you save that note for posterity? He has it somewhere, but that should be a part of the history. But we got on to graduation day, and my graduation day in 1962 was the day that they dedicated this building. And so out we came from Page House, all spiffed up in our suits and ties and ready to graduate. And a photographer hailed us over and took a picture, if I can find it here, right about here, that appeared actually on the cover of Engineering and Science. And Jean-Lou's wife, Carol Carmichael, since someone somehow found it. I don't know how you searched for it because there are no names. There are no credits. I'm delighted to be a cover boy and had forgotten that I was a cover boy. But there's 5 guys, 5 skinny guys with skinny ties, and And it was in this building on these steps behind us. Now, it's interesting. What's wrong with this picture?
I'm missing. I mean, I'm not.
The columns.
Oh.
There were no columns then. At that point in time, the Winnett Student Center had the bricks were the finish, and the cantilever came over, and that was it, with the stairway exposed. And somehow the greater wisdom over the years was that this building needed columns. It needed antiquity, and so the columns were added. I really don't know what year the columns were added, but I think it's a great addition. But, okay, going on to say that in my opinion, this building has good bones and a great location. I learned from Jean-Lou's comments that this is not the center, but it is the heart. And I think I would rather be the heart than the center. But it's a great location, and in real estate, which is my business, they tell me that location is important. So. Now, in 60 to 62 when I was here, so was Richard Feynman, and I believe Linus Pauling. But I never met them. I came over as a junior, so I never met these guys, and have kind of been disappointed over the years that I didn't really have the opportunity to mix with the incredible people that are here at Caltech and have always been at Caltech. The faculty would be at the Athenaeum. The students would be centered in their houses or in sports. You know, that was their interaction, and that was lovely. But it really never gave the opportunity for the faculty, the administration, the JPL, the really wonderful people that are here to interact. So 50 years later, after that picture was taken, Joyce and I are back, and we are focused on making this center be the place where undergrads, grads, postdocs, everyone can come together and really become friends and become lifelong colleagues. We want it to be a center for collaboration, a center where JPL, faculty, administration, and associates can come. I would imagine that we would have long tables here where a Nobel laureate may be sitting having his coffee, and an undergraduate can come up and trade ideas with him and see if that makes any sense. I would like it to be open to the Olive Walk, where people can go by and see the activity, see who's inside, see what's inside, what's going on. I'd like it to be a place where Jean-Lou can do his wonderful cooking. I know he has done meals for many of you. And yes, by the way, have you seen the marvelous socks on this guy? Give him a little flash there.
Look at my tie first.
The tie is great. The socks absolutely, I agree. And he told me that he does not like to be referred to as Jean-Lou Chameau. That's one of these great big Chameau. I got that right. Keep going. Moving on. All right. What else do we have to say here? The Olive Walk. Now that we have a French president, the olives are lovingly harvested, processed, and treated with great compassion as they're used in his cooking. But back when we were here, it was a mess. The fruit would drop on the walk, and you'd step on it, and it was very poorly used. Now, is the harvest going to happen next week, Friday? Tom, it's on? Okay, good. Tom Mannion. All right, well, now that we have a French president, things are better. But we have created a booklet of ideas for this Center for Collaboration. And so if you'd like a copy of that, let me know, give me your card. But more importantly, we're interested in your ideas. How can this be a place where people come together? Imagine that You know, there are big screens lining the walls. Imagine that there are live feeds from JPL giving you the information from the vehicles that they have on Mars, in space, circling the Earth. Imagine that we have the cutting edge technology that I don't necessarily know about, but you certainly do. Jean-Lou and Joyce and I want this place to be cost effective for sure, but at the same time we want any prospective student or faculty that's considering coming here at Caltech to walk in the place and say, wow, you know, I have got to be a part of this. Last week, Joyce and I attended a ceremony which honored Caltech for being the most economically productive institution, educational institution in Los Angeles, in Southern California, in fact. Some 130 some businesses have been founded here and came out of here. Hundreds of jobs, thousands of jobs have been created by the efforts of Caltech and their people. But we here, you know, in this gathering know that Caltech is beyond being the best institution in Southern California. We know it for 2 years to be #1, according to the New Times of London, to be a more impressive research institution than Oxford or Cambridge or Harvard or Yale or Duke or Princeton. So the things that are accomplished at JPL, the 4,000 plus engineers and scientists that are up there have put vehicles throughout our space, hundreds of vehicles. How many? Hundreds.
31.
And I believe 1976 they launched the Voyager, which is about to the edge of space, the edge of our solar system now, which is still feeding back information. So the accomplishments here are astounding. 32 Nobel recipients are associated with Caltech. Jean-Lou indicated last week that our undergrads are the most select, you know, and the most unusual. Anybody that can do a Rubik's Cube with one hand while juggling with the other impresses me. You know, that is the point of the center. We hope that if we can provide a place where the smartest and most creative people come together and share ideas, that magic will happen. And Joyce and I and our family really are delighted by the opportunity to have our name associated with Caltech for its most exciting future. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Fred. So, what Fred discussed about being convening people here and making them an exciting environment, reminding me of a story I heard during my first few weeks here at Caltech. In 2005, Dr. Bob Grubbs received a Nobel Prize in chemistry, and the day, I believe, the announcement was made, or the day after, he was having lunch here, okay? And a young student was on campus, a freshman from what I understand, and totally by accident, they sat at the same table, and they talked. And they talked only about basketball, okay? And because Bob loves basketball. And the kid left after having a lunch and talked about basketball the entire time. And as he was leaving, another student told him, "Do you know who you were having lunch with?" "No. He got the Nobel Prize yesterday." So that's the kind of a thing we hope will happen again here. Now, there is one more thing we need to do, is to gather over there, because we are going to unveil a sign that will state that this is the Hameetman Center Renovation that is going to be underway, and it will be a reminder for all of the people involved here to get to keep things going. So let's go there to unveil the sign and take a few pictures. Dr. Fauci also would like to join us if you...
Okay, on 1, on 2, on 3. Oh, yeah. Hello, hello. Is that? Oh, it does work. You can see that this picture was taken of Joyce about 5 years ago, and about me about 20 years ago. And even though you can see the receding hairline there, there's lots of black hair, and I love that. But interestingly, after I sent this picture to Laura, I took it home, showed Joyce what I'd done, and she took a marker and kind of filled in this little area right here. And the fun part, it goes to prove that old adage that behind every man with a great hairline, there's a great woman with a Sharpie. So thank you all for being here. We truly appreciate it and are delighted to be a part of Caltech. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Would like all of you to join us for a reception here and go and look at the bricks and the sign and everything and enjoy the food and